Yo.
What
Welcome.
up?
Buenos.
Beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Buenos Aires.
Shalom.
We have with us Matthew Peterson. Do you like to go by Matt or Matthew?
Matthew.
Nice. Okay, Matthew.
The illustrious Matthew Peterson.
Yeah.
The should we run through this resume?
Yeah.
This is a long one. We got a lot to read here.
Ooh.
Claremont, a PhD in political philosophy. Founder of the American Mind, co-founder of New Founding, a venture firm that put real capital behind a parallel American economy. Blaze Media, editor-in-chief. As editor-in-chief, launched Frontier Magazine, rebuilt the Blaze News brand, and I guess you probably got their first White House press pass. I think I'm not sure there was. I don't think there was a DC bureau at the Blaze.
Yeah, we created a DC office. Got the first White House press pass. The
Father of four, husband of one that we know of, and of course, the great and the powerful Dr. Matthew J. Peterson, and he was my boss twice upon a time, I guess, as well.
Twice upon a time, they were joyous times in many ways.
The best.
The doctor is in the house. Let me just say, we got a doctor
and a Catholic. Forgot.
Did you ever have to give Harrison like a performance review when he worked for you? I'm guessing there were a couple of those.
On the contrary, I had to do some defense sometimes. Yeah. So I was more.
Yeah, Matt was more protecting
defending him from HR.
Yeah,
Harrison defender.
Yeah,
Harrison enjoyer.
Well, Harrison is a destructive cancer that will destroy anything he touches. So I'm not surprised.
True.
And I've never in real life I've never used doctor. You know, it's always like the wrong kind of doctor. You know,
Right.
what they used to say, the wives say, but. The academy was so messed up, I was happy to leave it. And even when I was there, I wasn't big on the old doctor thing.
Yeah.
Super annoying.
Yeah.
In fact, you always know a book is going to kind of like someone's selling out when they
say
put
doctor.
in their title.
Right. Yeah. Dr. Jill Biden.
Your Twitter account is literally
Exactly.
Doc.
It's like, why would you be proud of that appellation?
Biden.
You should feel shame at having a PhD in this day and age. You know?
Yeah. No, my dad is a doctor.
literally Doc.
He should feel shame for sure.
I
about
did.
his doctorate.
Okay, so just for you, marketing type, advertising type guys, I did use it on Twitter and I regretted it because I was trying to think of what's the shortest thing I could find, right? I wanted the shortest, and I wanted the shortest so bad, sell, that I did use DOC MJP as my handle.
Oh, right. Yeah,
And
you
I've-
are docked MJP, right?
I have kind of rejected, I've kind of been mad about it over the years, but I just had to accept it because how are you going to change something that's so short? It's like beautiful, right?
You're like, oh, I had no choice but to tell everyone I'm a doctor.
Yeah,
Oh.
It's true though. I couldn't think of anything else. But I do sort of regret it still. Yeah.
We called the episode Dr. Matthew J. Peterson.
MD. Should
I
have put
didn't know whether you were
MD
fucking
in.
with me from the beginning or not.
It's also the J, like anything J. The middle name J is like
Middle name is just
anything
J,
with
like Homer J.
like,
Simpson.
yeah, Homer J. Simpson.
Dude,
exactly.
like Dr. J.
It has to be
Julia
J.
Serving.
Well, so the
powerful.
J I'm not ashamed about because the name is so common that you need a distinguishing feature.
The J stands for Jewish,
Matthew
which is
Jewish.
why he's our featured guest today. Mama the Jew magazine.
In
the
fact,
JQ.
It does.
You
not-
might be the first Catholic we've had on, though. Legit practicing Cath.
It does stand for
Is
Joseph.
Dallas not a
Jewish
Catholic? Dallas Sanier, is he a
Dallas Sanier?
Catholic? Dallas Sanier, is he a Catholic?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know.
Sanier, it sounds French.
Yeah, he's
I
got.
don't think there are French.
He's got to have a little
Are
Catholic.
there French Protestants? I don't think
Or,
that
I
exists.
think they were all murdered.
Yeah, they were the Huguenots, right? They were.
That's what
they
the
were-
War of Roses was, famously. I
Joan of
will.
Arc.
Didn't end well.
She was Catholic.
So Matt,
yeah.
I have a. This is interesting because I think we started working together maybe 2022.
Yeah.
And I would say even just in the last 4 years, and I think that's probably, when I was at New Founding, I think is when I met Isaac. Through actually, it was like a New Founding connection. I think you were talking to Nate Fisher or something. We were talking about marketing. We were trying to figure out what to do with these newsletters. But 2022, I would almost say that feels like in terms of media and sort of the world we were in, 2022 feels like it was like a decade ago.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
It seems like it was just a completely different world. Notwithstanding, obviously Charlie and I think we should probably talk about Charlie at some point because you were pretty close with Charlie, and a lot everything I kind of knew about him I actually learned through you. So I think it's pretty interesting. But yeah, I kind of want to get your take on that. I think that sort of sets the table for some of what this discussion will be about. But yeah, I mean, maybe walk us through sort of your experience over those few years, and then where we're at.
It's crazy to think back because besides all the crazy shit that just has happened, to the entire society, that everyone went through. I mean, the trauma. I hate that word, but the COVID and the riots and all that, the election in 2020. It's also the case that for a lot of us, everyone was doing a lot and collaborating and meeting a lot of people. Like all these things kind of set up a ferment in like the culture and politically. So for me, it's been 8 years really up until I left Blaze of just complete craziness because I had given up on the right and politics like a long time ago and thought the whole thing is fake and whatever.
Okay.
Around 2008, on, and then when Trump appeared, I was like, oh, this is real. Like maybe politics can happen again, or something interesting could happen. And so I go to Claremont against my better judgment, right when I'm saying I'm never going to do teaching again. I go to a nonprofit. I'm like, damn it, they brought me back in. But I went there because I knew that they could actually do some things in this environment. So I spent 3 years there, like doing all this stuff, creating American Mind, whatever. And then when we met, it amped up even more after 2020. And at that point, I was like, I can't be working at a think tank right now. I still want to help them. I love those guys. I still do. But we have to just go out and start doing things. And that was New Founding. And so at the time, it was like this swirling, movement of like everyone talking. It was very collaborative. It was really collaborative, for a while. Like the last half of Trump started to stir something and people were just, I'm sick of this nonsense and I need to do something about it. So you just end up talking to all these different people. And, that's how kind of we all met. And then what happens is things sort of sort out a little bit about who's who and what's what and who's good at what and who's doing what in the midst after this kind of swirling current that's all around you. And that's, I feel like a little bit where we are now, where, it's like not only are people not new to a kind of movement, but they're also a little hip and wise to what they want to do and what they see the problems are after going through all that craziness. And I kind of, that's what I feel like for myself. It's like I have a clearer sense of, okay, what needs to be focused on, what needs to be done, where are the opportunities, both culturally and politically, after going through this kind of crazy whirlwind of the last, however many years. Does that resonate with you guys? Or?
Yeah, I mean, that was, everybody was feeling it. And then because we were still underneath this is mid.
Wait, but so hold on. Where were you at with Trump? Where were you at with Trump 1?
Me?
Where were you in your career with Trump 1?
As I said, going into 2015, I was just I'd already taken the clear pill before Yarvin wrote that essay for American Mind before starting Gray Mirror. I disagreed with the clear pill then when I published it, but I still published it because I recognized, I was clear pilled. I was like, you know what? It doesn't matter. These people are all nuts.
Wait a second. What is the clear pill? Let's tell our audience what the clear pill means. candidates.
Yeah. So in the midst of talk of the red pill, which arguably comes from the Matrix, you can take the red pill and start to realize there's something. I've seen some schizos claim other things, but
really? So it doesn't come from the. Where else could it possibly come from?
It definitely does. I believe it comes from the Matrix. Yes.
I don't know where else.
And so the red pill, right? Being you take it and you start to realize what's wrong with culture and politics, whatever. He had the clear pill, at least initially, was, look, you can kind of stay outside of all these things. And I think he wrongly said, let Biden win, it'll be fine, it'll be better that way.
Yeah.
In other words, sort of.
I think he did say that. I think he did say that.
Withdraw from this stuff because it's all pretty fake and it's kind of a uniparty, whatever, and you have no way to change it through normal political means anyway. And that was the argument. So I kind of felt that going into 2015, and I would write online, kind of making fun of all the candidates. I still regard myself as, I wasn't a lefty, but I thought this is all ridiculous. And I thought the irony of it at the time was Jeb Bush was actually probably the most conservative candidate, mainstream establishment candidate that the Republican Party had ever put forth. But his last name was Bush, which we're all sick of. And it was a great irony. He probably actually was just genuinely, more conservative, whatever that means, than other establishment candidates, than Dole or, Romney or anything. That was ironic. So I thought, look, this is going to be a fake primary. I've always thought Trump is hilarious. My brother and I used to call up and talk about, how my whole life we would talk about Trump. My relatives, my grandparents had the New York Post, in their house. We loved his hotel game. We would joke about how he pretended to have more money than he did and call up and complain, the only one who would do that on the world's richest list. So I thought it was a kind of a joke. I did not actually understand how serious he was or would become. And I just made fun of them all. And it was Jeb's going to win and whatever. But then I saw Trump rise in the polls. And I thought, that's fine. I understand why he's rising. It's for good reason. He's attacking the media. Every folk hero who does that rises, but then they lose ultimately and the establishment wins. And I thought, this just isn't serious. And so I wasn't anti-Trump, but I was not pro-Trump, at the time. And then, of course, he does win. And I don't think I voted in the primary. It didn't matter in California. Anyway, he in the general, I didn't vote because I was it doesn't matter. I was still there, but I was for Trump. Once he won, I was oh, this is great. And I didn't really like any other candidates. And I kind of was bowled over when he won, right after he won, a little bit before. I kind of had already made the turn, right? Of I really like this guy. Maybe this could work. And as the administration started very early on, I defended, Trump and thought this was amazing. And the dynamic that he established on Twitter was just so I wasn't from the early times, Trump is going to win. Some of my best friends were he's going to win. But I was I don't know, this is all ridiculous. And then I think when he won, it was whoa, wait a minute, maybe we can actually have some kind of politics, regardless of, his flaws or whatever. And I've basically been MAGA ever since.
What do you mean by politics there? Have some kind of politics. What do you mean?
Well, I think you really could change things politically, that you could really have meaningful political choices.
Right.
Regardless of, how messy the world is.
Yeah, that it wasn't just total BS,
Yes.
uniparty, whoever, Coke and Pepsi, whoever you vote for.
Yeah.
Right. I do remember Jeb. I remember Jeb. I always loved that they just did Jeb, period. It was just
exclamation point.
Was it exclamation point?
Jeb.
It was just Jeb. It was
you remembered his period because he was low energy.
Dude, so true. That was fucking so true what you just said. I remember period, but it was an exclamation point.
Yeah, one of the best moments
really true.
in the Republican primary was there was clearly a night where Jeb's advisors told him you got to come out really strong tonight against Trump. You got to really try to be him and bully him. And Jeb comes out and he's being super aggressive with Trump. And Trump just goes, "Oh, you're very high energy tonight. I like that, Jeb. I like to see that." And it just destroyed his entire campaign.
Totally. No, I mean the performance art of Trump, like when he destroyed Rubio with little Marco in that cup of water, like who am I? It pretends to be Rubio with a cup of water that came from, for those who don't know in the audience don't remember, Rubio gave a counter speech during one of these nightly events that America used to watch together. He was giving the opposition speech. And he had a parched mouth, and it was a very weird look, and he had to reach over and grab water. I mean, Trump just imitated that, threw the water away, and he was a little Marco ever after. And now he's changed over time and evolved, and now he's the biggest Marco. He's big Marco now.
He's big Marco.
But the power of that was incredible. And for me, it was more like, I'm all about, can you actually change something? And it was just, this was not supposed to happen. That's what I mean. Like politics, this was real politics again, and that was very interesting. So much so that at a time in my life where I did not have any, I wanted to go back to consulting and work on some media projects in LA, and what was at the time. And I was saying to myself, I'm never going to do this teaching thing again. Like it's ridiculous. The university system is rotten. What are you trying to do? Just go make money and do interesting things. And then Claremont called up, and I was so into it by that point that when Ryan said to the president at the time, we are actually going to do things, I thought, well, gosh, if someone like me doesn't get in there, like this is the time, we could actually change all this stuff on the right. And then that became, that was like everyone who realized how much things suck, which is everyone like under 50 or whatever it is, at the time, it's probably under 50 at the time. It just collaborated like crazy. And then after 2020, it was like, well, this is beyond think tank world. I've already done what I could there. Let's just move out and start, trying to create new things. And so that's been the quest ever since. And when you go on that quest, you have to deal in right with center circles with, a lot of craziness, incompetence, grift, you name it. And, you go through all those struggles. But for me, it's still, the goal is still the same in kind of a cultural, commercial, political space. What can you do that's interesting now? And I think there's a lot of things that are interesting, but there's some serious challenges to that, as you guys all know. And that's why I'm about anything like that's new and interesting. And that's exactly what you guys are doing here. Isaac does it in so many ways. And Harrison, I've known, in this, gets like a quest for the white whale over the years. And that's why I was happy to be at the Mama Party. I mean, it's like, I'm just there to support anything interesting outside the box.
Well, thank you, Matt. Harrison is definitely questing for his white whale, which is a burrito.
Also, the white whale is what we call Harrison behind the scenes.
Okay.
He's thinking about that whale right now.
Well, I'm with him on the burritos.
I would argue he is the white whale.
Wow. I wonder how much my burrito costs in this.
Yeah, how much does your burrito cost me? Dude, the only time I've ever had food poisoning was a burrito in New Orleans. Remember, was it Juan's? Does Juan's
flying burrito?
Dude, Juan's
killed flying burrito.
Only time I've ever had food poisoning, Juan's burrito.
It's a good burrito.
In fucking New Orleans.
It wasn't good though, because I spent years outside of California, like, questing for the perfect white whale burrito, very much not like Harrison, hopefully. And it's just always, sometimes if it's kind of good, it's even worse than if it sucks, because it's like still a pale imitation of what you can find in places like California, which is still, to me, Southern California, and it's the poor people food. It's not the fancy, the simple burrito is what a burrito is. Like if there's cheese in it,
is the poor
I get
people
mad.
food, right? I mean, a place is always distinguished by its poor people food. It's never really distinguished by its rich people food.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I don't even know what rich people food is in today's world. What is it?
I just got back from California. I went to two places I love.
Right, it's Retatrutide.
Yeah,
El Super, which is
I have some in the fridge, by the way.
El Super Burrito, which is in Pasadena, which is like a little stand you can eat outside. I think their super burrito is $14.50.
Yeah, dude, it's $20. It is $20. It really is $20.
Well, that's okay. Because before we get into burrito, because this is a good segue, because
$14.50. That is crazy.
There's deeper lore with Claremont and Matt, because I think you guys because you published a bunch of people in American Mind that were sort of like the OG voices, I think, in sort of the dissident right. Because I think you did, I think Clear Pill was like 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And then
right.
I think Lomez and in some of those other
Wait,
names.
so Clear Pill was a Yarvin article that was published in American Mind?
It was like a 5-parter, I think, right?
Yeah, I remember Clear Pill. I remember take the Clear Pill.
Yeah.
I still don't know what the Clear Pill is though. And why is he gray mirror? Is it gray? Is it clear? Can we decide?
Hey, what is this?
What's the deal with the gray mirror?
Well, I think he takes that from Mirror Princes, which is the old medieval and after notion that you'd write the handbook for the prince. But the gray part of it is it's intriguing. I mean, he basically started Gray Mirror, understandably. I like Curtis a lot. I mean, I don't have any.
No, we love Curtis. He was our first episode. He talked about his. It's very
talked about his weird dick.
He had some.
He was a late stage
problems.
circumcision, which we got into.
I'm glad I wasn't there for that. I just debated him with Jeremy Carl, him and Alex Pecos.
Oh yeah, we saw that on the. So was that part of Forum?
No, that was something called the Hamilton Society, which is a bunch of these tech kids in San Francisco who, a little different than Forum, they have no video allowed and some like Oxford Union rules. But I didn't know what to expect, and I walked into this like Catholic school gymnasium, and there's 700 kids, in a circle, a spotlight in the middle with a big American flag. They all drink some beforehand, and then they stomp instead of cheering or clapping.
And it's
they
Catholic
instead of booing,
right? Isn't it sort of Catholic-y?
Yeah, there's some. I
think
think
where they're getting their young kids is like the Catholic Church.
There certainly is a lot of people there who are Catholic, but it's not like a Catholic,
right?
Catholic officially kind of thing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and I think what's so interesting is like because of that, because what was interesting, like when we started at the Blaze, remember the Blaze was hiring monarchist, perhaps fascist, dissident right personalities, and it was in fact it was such a big deal that Glenn Beck freaked out about it, and it all kind of sort of led back to this James Lindsay woke right, the burrito. And it's interesting, like that schism has been going on forever, but it was very fascinating. Like our first few weeks at the Blaze was like there was some sort of internal war going on between the far right and the conservatives.
Yeah, there was. We should talk. We can talk about that, but I want to go back to the American Mind. I do think it is an important point, and I've wanted to write something myself, which is kind of gauche about this, but I feel like I have to, because I mean it was important publication because it was small. But what we were able to do, if I don't flatter myself, is to publish some of these voices and something that was associated with the mainstream right. And the reasoning for that was you can agree or disagree, which I do with some of these figures on various things. But we need to have this conversation and actually talk about reality and what people are talking about. And I still think it's amazing that I had the freedom to do that. I think we did it in a way that was very salutary for the right. And so Lomez, before anyone knew who he was, kind of thing, published him about basically why I'm proud to be a retard. It's like, I think it was called The Death of Midwit Expertise or something like that. And when I put like a star for retard, into the E, I think something along those lines. That article, Bronze Age Pervert responding to Michael Anton's review, and then Anton responding to him, and Yarvin and all these people. And to me, it was always like, what is the big deal? Like, what are we so afraid of? Like, what are you guys, what's the problem? Like, have these discussions and arguments. And what was funny is the kind of more establishment view at the time would be, oh, you're going to platform these people and ruin our reputation. And of course, the opposite is true. Like, the Anons aren't just incels sitting in their mom's basement. The Anons at the time are, centimillionaire donors who are looking for some shred of interesting life in a desiccated world and a dead right. And I think that Yervin said it to me once. It was very true. Who obviously, I disagree on things. I've just debated him, but that it was almost like you just open the door and then this rush of air like comes through, this rush of energy. And we also did things like for the administration, people in admin wanted to publish ideas, from outside on certain topics, like how to reform the deep state, whatever. And we published things like that all in one place. And it was a heady time. And I mean, James Polis at the time, they took down a lot of our art for copyright reasons. But I mean, it was like Polis. We would come up with ideas for memes to basically be the cover art for these pieces. And we were just doing it, and so some of them were great, but all of it was pretty funny stuff and exciting at the time. So it became like a kind of a vanguard publication that had some cachet, but it was this nice mixture of things that sort of made sense at the time, and that was big for me because I learned a lot about about the sort of alchemy of blending ideas together. And finding the right angles and fighting those battles
that was the original Mickey Mouse Club. I mean, that was like everybody. That was the Mickey Mouse Club of like the new, I would say, or I guess the dissident right, sort of the new right, because this is post ideological dark web. I think in some ways, right? This is sort of post the ascendant mainstream podcast, right? That was like Shapiro. This is definitely, this wasn't alt-right. This is a whole new thing.
Yeah, I think it was like formulating the new right, showing there's a coherent agenda, showing that there's different ideas at the table that are clashing. What are those ideas? And letting that all breathe was kind of the goal. And I think we succeeded in that. And it was a lot of fun, It was a lot of fun. And at the time, we had all these people, we had younger people in the White House as part of the admin. So I'd go to D.C. a lot, too, to kind of marshal ideas and help them in some ways, like, outside of things. And that was also great. But, of course, now it's way different. There's a ton of people at higher levels. But like the typical thing would be you get a young guy who comes in and they start moving up because they actually understand what Trump's talking about. And none of the older people do. Like, why is he questioning NATO? Why is he questioning the generals? That's insane. He must be crazy. And it's the younger guys like, no, this makes totally logical sense. Let me explain it to you, to boomers. And that was the beginning. And it's even better now.
Can I ask you guys a question? So all three of you guys are people who I feel like appreciate argumentation a lot. Like you really like to see good argumentation. So who is the best arguer you've ever seen? All three of you. Ever. Who's the best arguer?
Any context?
Who's the guy who really was like, man, that's the guy? Dude, who's the Michael Jordan of arguing?
This is going to sound kind of gay.
Probably myself, I would have to say.
Is it?
I was going to say, as a libtard, Ben Shapiro red pilled me a little bit. He was one of my original red pillars. And I think that's true for
he's a great arguer
in my age group, because remember he was sort of outside.
Yeah,
even though he would say he was conservative. I think we've had this conversation probably 100 times, but he was not the establishment, right? And so there was part of me that was like, okay, I guess I'll listen to this guy. Like, I guess Ben Shapiro talked to him one time. He can't be that bad, And then my brother would be like, you're a faggot if you don't listen to Ben Shapiro every day. He's the only guy that's right. Like, you got to listen to him. And this is when we still I didn't know hating Jews was like a thing yet. I didn't know that was a possibility. I could have that joy in my heart yet. But yeah, Ben Shapiro is probably, he's like OG.
I would actually, that's the first thing that came to mind because I've been thinking a lot recently about how, think about this, like Glenn Beck and Tucker Carlson were both really made famous by Fox News, right? They were on mainstream networks. Ben Shapiro became a baller through, those videos of going around arguing with people. And that's also part of the popularity of Charlie. It's still popular. And it was, this whole stereotype. Ben Shapiro destroys college kids with facts and logic. But that was so powerful that you could build a whole media company around him. And he really did that, himself.
Well, and he filled in. What I always heard is he sort of filled in after Rush Limbaugh. Like that was sort of he peeled off a lot of that audience. And yeah, he's just like the guy who knows it. I know all the
Well, I don't know if he
facts.
peeled off that audience, but he was the Rush for the under 45 crowd,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
2016, as social media scrolling and rotting in your bed and scrolling on your phone became more and more part of the human experience. I think he was like the OG of the algorithm, because you would get these Ben Shapiro, especially if you hated him, you'd get the YouTube clips or you'd get the Insta Facebook clips, and you'd be like, ah, and then it was, and then that's Charlie blew up off of that too, in the second sort of iteration of that in the COVID world. So
yeah, I feel like that's like real organic fame, and in the sense of like recognition for being able to go out there and have these discussions. And regardless of what we think, it's like millions of young people both gravitated towards both those guys, and they were very, very good at it.
So what about you, Matthew? Who do you think is the guy, the chief best arguer you've ever seen?
I mean, I'm going to sound academic in this. I think there's a few different kinds, right? So like, when you say logic, facts, and reason, there's different ways that you argue. I would say, for instance, that Curtis is very, very good when he's on as a sort of seductive poet. I mean, he's got a very charming way about him. He's got a poetic way about him.
He'll like quote 50 Cent.
Yeah,
like it'll be. He's very Dionysian in that way. Yeah.
And that's very, very different than some of the obscure professors I had at a great book school who are huge Thomists and are like rigorous reasoners who are constantly like splitting the atom. Like, what do you mean by that? How do you define? Like the medieval slogan is see if I get it right, is what? Never affirm, seldom deny, always distinguish. In other words, if you
never affirm, always deny,
seldom deny,
and
always distinguish. And what they meant by that is, if you want to be careful, like in reason, affirming is like the biggest thing you can do, right? Denying is somewhat easier, but still a pretty universal statement, but always be distinguishing. In other words, trying to get at what exactly do we mean by this, right? Which is half the problem half the time. Like, does America need a Caesar? Well, what do you mean by Caesar, right? And so if you really mean like rigorous argumentation, I think there's, there, you know what I mean? There's like a still a number of people who were actually well educated according to the ancient ways, and actually can distinguish in ways that are remarkable, that are mostly obscure, that people are not famous. If you mean like, people out there, I think it, again, how do you mean to debate? Like Tucker Carlson at his height is not someone that you would want to debate. Like he's not known as this, but this happened a couple of times. I don't think he's, ultimately the best debater, but he was very, very powerful, and because he's so powerful with an audience.
What makes Tucker so powerful? Why is Tucker such a great communicator? In that episode with Hunter says, "I think you're the greatest communicator of our time." Why is Hunter so good at that? What makes him so good?
I think with Tucker, who I think is exactly one of the greatest communicators. It's because like very few people he can project sincerity. It's one thing people don't talk about as much. He, like Glenn Beck, does this too. And there's this great writing by this old French priest. Speaking of something obscure, I'm going to be like Curtis now. And he talks about the virtue of sincerity and how it's something that's very, very powerful if you have it, and you can misuse it though. You can still, it's like almost you believe what you're saying at the time, but you can use it for evil too. But Tucker has this ability to project sincerity. And then you combine that with what he's done for years, and especially at the height of Fox, everyone recognizes he would just cut through to the actual problem. And that's also, right, a serious skill, because most conversations, writing is like this, but so is video is like this. Can you cut through, like in the story, to the raw stuff? And it's stuff that's there and you kind of know it when you see it, but you got to see it first. And so he would have all the monologues, right? Where what was he doing? He was saying things that people knew but couldn't articulate. And he was doing that very well, combined with this kind of sincerity. You're taken aback by the sincerity of kind of what he says and how he says it. And when I say sincerity, it's not just like an emotion he projects, like, or a vibe, which it is, but it's also, he just kind of like, he just kind of cuts to the roots. Like when I first met him, it was almost like a question, like, so what do you do? Like, what do you do that's bad? Like, do you drink? Do you smoke? Like, what, which is something I feel very much with people. Like, I kind of want to know something about your vices so I trust you, And he was like, so do you smoke? I'm like, oh no, I stopped that a long time ago. I started dipping at night, but just at night, not in public. He's like, oh yeah, I did that for a long time. And at the time he had like the nicotine pills, He's like, I get these imported from South America.
Wow.
Most addictive drug there is, more addictive than heroin. I'm 100% with him on nicotine being fantastic. So that's that most people don't do that, right? And so he's comfortable in his own skin enough to be real, and it's a remarkable combination.
So you're
here
saying
we go.
with
We need
Tucker-
the Mossad response. Here we go. Please
No,
do
I'm
the
not.
rebuttal from Denzel.
Well, I'm curious. You're saying it sounds like you're saying.
What do you really mean right now?
All right.
So what do you mean he's an
But
anti-Semite?
you think he is sincere? You think Tucker ultimately is somebody he is sincere, or has the talent of affecting sincerity?
So I've said this to many of his critics, of course, over the last year. Some of whom are best friends, and people will say, he's playing this game, or he wants power, or he wants this. I sincerely, boom ching, don't believe that. I do not think that at all. I don't think, like, he's not that kind of guy. I think that you can trace this to actually Isaac was one of the only people I've seen say this with some kind of semblance of the truth in my mind. He is very upset about the fact that he supported the Iraq War and the Gulf Wars, etc. He's very upset at people who he think has screwed him. And I think he genuinely, like with Iran, he is genuinely like, no more wars, right? He feels very strongly about this. And so much so that, I think he's thinking very politically about it all, So I think he goes down rabbit trails. He investigates things. He has strong passions, and you can disagree or agree with where he goes with it. But I don't think it's like a game or insincere. He doesn't really have to play that.
What about the demon thing, though? What do you think about the demon thing?
The demon scratch.
And that's like the
demon scratch.
And help me, because I'm a little retarded on this, and you help me through some of these more theological things. Catholics don't say shit like that, right? Even though the Catholics believe in, like, don't you all believe in exorcism and demons and shit? But you always hear the Protestants that are always talking about demons.
Yeah, generally, like the Catholics are kind of like, the Catholics are kind of quiet about it, because in every movie that if there's actually a demon and you need it exorcised, who you're calling.
Right.
It's a Catholic priest.
It's not the big box preacher man down the street.
Right. You're not getting an evangelical. You're not getting an evangelical exorcism. That doesn't exist.
No. And
that'd be a good movie. Angel Studios. Evangelical exorcism.
That's actually a fantastic idea.
Even the Catholics won't touch it.
First time ever.
Dallas Sunny, there's a job.
Jim Caviezel.
I mean, you can see like an old rabbi going to war with the devil. You can see an Orthodox priest, but it's basically like a Catholic priest, is an Orthodox, is a guy who is going to do the exorcism. So I think it's something that's talked about, but it's actually in more scary ways, because it's talked about and dealt with it as if it's real, which of course also means that a lot of it is bullshit and fakery. It's kind of like the ancient Greeks have this. Herodotus has this story, and St. Augustine has a similar story and talks about this, where a king at the time puts out a bulletin to all the oracles to see if there is a god, or a demon, right? Actually there, a higher intelligence, and asks what he was doing on a certain day in the past. And one gets it, the Oracle of Delphi gets it right, so he rewards them. And the Catholic position is always like, look, a lot of times, the most normal thing in the world is for little cults to be established and little, temples on Epstein's Island. Most of the time, it's a guy who wants to get laid and do weird stuff. But every once in a while, there is an actual demon there. And so it's not something you play up, but it is something that exists, which I think most of the human beings that ever lived think there's, angels and demons of some kind or some higher intelligence in between God, and the rest. So I don't know. I mean, the Tucker thing, I mean, part of that is like, what do you call that when you have the sleep
paralysis? Sleep paralysis.
Yeah. There's like a sleep paralysis element. And then also, I don't know, you said that again, this is a guy who literally lives by instinct, who tells a great story about, his dad saying, follow your inner dog. And I don't see him as someone who is like telling tall tales, at least any more than anyone does, exaggerates things or whatever. I just see him as someone who's generally pretty like sincere in that, so I don't know anything beyond that.
I have a quick question, kind of goes to Tucker, where Tucker's gone with I think the borderline leftist stuff and sort of the populism. And it was actually Jeremy Boring that made this point, and I thought it was interesting. And I'm curious if you agree with it or not. And because it's something that speaks to me the more that I hear it, which is the more the right plays the populism game, the more they walk down a path that is losing because the left just gets to do socialism. So you always are sort of like, you're getting out populisted through this leftist movement. And so the right never gets to have their right-wing populist movement, which is basically just sort of like the, socially conservative, fiscally liberal, I guess, is sort of like, and you see guys like Tucker and his ilk are banging on that door a lot. And as somebody who's like, I come from old school leftism, there's something appealing to that, to me as sort of the, I'm like a right-wing social activist in some ways, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, first off, I should say, I mean, I don't agree with Tucker on everything, he's been saying. But I do.
Whoa, there's crazy sounds. What is going on? That's definitely you, dude. It's always Harrison, because he's got some weird AI program. He's got his open claw. He's like, sorry, my open claw was talking.
It's like the AI working on 15 different jobs.
Yeah, sorry. That was my open claw.
I think, not agreeing with Tucker on everything. Like, I don't like the Iran stuff. I always thought I don't want to go to war there either. I think it's a huge mistake. I don't think it's a good thing that we did this. I hope we pull through fine and, root for us, of course. But I always thought it was a little bit over the top, right? The way he talked about that. Yeah. But I do think he's overall sincere, and he's done some brave things, even for me behind scenes, not even that long ago. So I'm not, I'm not one to throw people, from the bus, especially him. You can just disagree. I think with the populism debate, look, first off, the most popular position is something like you said. I mean, they always said social conservatism, right, was not popular. This is sort of a meme that was an establishment meme a long time ago. Actually, a kind of social conservatism combined with some economic populism is popular and is the way to go, is the new right approach. I think the problem is, what do you mean when you talk about the economics? If you mean socialism, well, no, but I don't think that anyone really thinks that. I think sometimes new right people talk themselves into old ideas. They're actually pretty shitty, that the left has already tried. But I don't think that that's really what we mean when we say it's okay to say that government should help people. Like the right is a problem with this. Government will help people? No, we can't say that. Like it exists to do that, dude. So sometimes that might mean getting rid of regulations that are ridiculous and hurt people, right? Other times that means let's just get rid of all these, but let's still have a law that's just more prudent and more practical that actually does help people. And you'll have this big colossus, this big friggin' apparatus that's already present. So of course you're going to use what's there, even if you try to whack it down, which in many ways I think we should. So I think there's a real like problem both with the rhetoric, in which some people they hear like common good and they say socialism, and then there's the policy. And again, the solution here is like, look, we can debate about these things, but we can't just shout everyone down. And what's happening now is you really do have a retarded discourse in which people are just trying to slap down Vance and anything new right as all kinds of crazy things. And I don't really put too much stock in it because I think the truth will just come out over time. And I don't think that, Vance or anyone else is supporting leftism when it comes to economic policy. I think there's a lot of serious forks in the road and choices we need to make there that are complicated.
No, I don't think so either, but but you can see like, it's going to be easy for faggots like Tallarico to be like, well, I kind of agree with the exact same thing you're saying, except I want to be nice to trannies.
Yeah.
And then people go, oh, all right.
Yeah, like, dude, Crenshaw, like, during that whole burrito thing, like, Dan Crenshaw tweeting out, don't be a pussy. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps and afford the $20 burrito. When I saw that, I was just like, all right, I'm going to vote for fucking Ilhan Omar. Like, if you're telling me, if you're just completely acting like there's no problem, like, that's the thing with the right is they get it. They're like, the reasons are different. It's immigration or it's tariffs or it's whatever, like, your theory is. But this, like, Crenshaw conservatism where it's just like, nothing is wrong at all. You're just being a pussy. That is such a losing message, and that will lose to socialism.
Oblivious. He's one of the. We've talked about this before. Like, whatever era you were brought into Congress under, whatever things you ran on that year, you do not upgrade your stance. Like, it is when he says shit like that, it's so out of touch that it's like.
Well, someone found a Crenshaw tweet during the Biden administration where he literally was saying like, why the fuck are the burritos $20? Like, it was basically the same thing. But then when Trump's president, he's like, you're being a pussy. Take more shifts at the Chud factory or whatever.
No, I was working on a title for an event, and I wanted to call it the $20 burritos and the common good. Limited government in quotes versus helping the people. And it's kind of like that. Both sides, like, oh, you're helping the people. Like, government doesn't do that. That means I have to reach for my pocketbook. The other side, like, oh, the common good, you are a leftist, and this is just, it's dumb, but it's something we're gonna have to hash out, and there's no way around it.
Well, but what does that mean, really? I mean, like, it's so clearly the left has chosen this as their platform, right? Affordability, right? That's their thing, right? They were good. Whatever happened to abundance, by the way? It was going to be abundance, and now abundance is gone. Ezra Klein has been,
I think Mamdani won.
Basically,
I think that's what happened.
Basically, Mamdani won. So clearly, it's this sort of weaponized anger at rich people. That's their whole platform. Mm-hmm. And you see the right sort of scrambling to accommodate this, but how real is it really? I mean, is it really any different today than it was in 2016? Have things really changed that much? I don't know. Like, is it really that different economically for somebody today than it was then? Or is it just a really good platform? Is it just the Dems figured out their platform? Like, before they were like, kill Whitey. That obviously didn't work, right? Because that's a stupid platform. But like, now they're just like, kill Elon Musk. And that's their platform. It's like, how much is this just a reaction to their new platform versus actual reality in day-to-day life?
I mean, I guess there are two things. I have screaming kids that are just going to scream and find
That's
it out if
fine.
you can hear
That's
this.
fine.
Good.
Totally fine with
I'm
that.
just gonna let them.
Are you at Comet Ping Pong?
Screaming kids. I have screaming kids in my dungeon.
There's screaming kids in the non-existent dungeon that
It's
doesn't
like,
exist.
it's like
No,
zone of
no.
interest. It's
This
like
is just
zone
the
of
law of the jungle in a free, healthy household. My 2 cents on that is that there certainly is a little bit of truth to. It's always there's lots of times in the last post World War II when things have been hard. There was a shitty economy for a while in the 70s, etc. But and you got to and also I think you got to find your way no matter what. You got to figure it out no matter what shitty situation you're in. Okay. But I do think that there is a just complaint in the financialization of the economy and so many other things that have happened, the gerontocracy, in which policy really has made things a lot harder for younger people. And, I see this all the time. I mean, I don't want to pick on boomers. Boomers are some of our best people. But I think there's a lot to actually like about that generation. It could be learned from, like, at least they like to have fun, and they weren't dour and whatever. But at the same time, I mean, you cannot compare, moving to being in Southern California in the 50s and 60s and the opportunity that you had over the course of those decades and the situation now. And I see this a lot with very good people, like for instance, in Orange County has some older people that I've talked to over the years who are just it's very difficult for them to see the problem, right? Because it does feel like for certain people in certain times and places over the last, post World War II decades, it was in fact much easier. And when you look at the value of college, when you look at, housing prices comparatively, look at how much people make, it doesn't, even if they're wrong, like you got to admit the fact that no one feels like they have a path up. It's not even like, I don't want to work. It's like, I don't see a path to actually being successful that's realistic. And when you have a whole generation yelling at you and crying out and saying this is a problem, to then sit around and laugh at them is ridiculous. And I'm very much on the side of first, like no one should just sit around and bitch, right? You have to figure it out regardless. It's like if it's a post-apocalyptic economy, like you got to figure it out, sell cigarettes in the prison, whatever. But you don't have a choice. So I'm not about like sitting around and bitching and moaning, but at the same time, like, are the complaints legitimate? Hell yeah. And if we don't do something about them, people are going to get really pissed off for real reasons and punish the Republican Party for not addressing their real concerns.
So then Matthew, what do you think the platform of 28 Republicans should be?
Well,
because they're going to own that. The leftists are always going to own rich people are too rich, right? Mm-hmm. They've got that. We're never going to get that.
And that shouldn't be our platform anyway.
Right. Yeah. So what is ours?
So I think so first off, I do think
you don't have to have an answer. I'm just like bringing.
Yeah. I do think that in a way I don't, in a way I do. But first, I think the two biggest issues that are actually the easiest winners that push, small amount of people, but very importantly, are MAHA and waste, fraud, and abuse, corruption. And so I'm very big on this. I think that MAHA is still incredibly powerful. It's wonderful. It's meaningful. And it is real. Doesn't matter what they do in DC. It's just real out there in America. And so pushing that is super important. And it's actually about, the health of everybody. And then number two, everyone knows how corrupt the system is. We're awash in corruption. You got to just bang on that drum and keep doing it in smart ways. And JD Vance is wise to be in charge of that task force, because I think those are the two winning issues. I think with the economic issues, the problem is that there's like all this stuff that you could do, and politicians often fix on kind of a gimmick, like even for us, no tips on taxes, right? It's like cool, but we're not getting to the fundamentals. That stuff is good or can be good, but it's not getting the fundamentals. And the fundamentals, I think, have to do with fiscal policy, which I don't pretend to understand, but I do understand that, like, if you print a ton of dollars and devalue my paycheck, 30% or whatever, I think it's 30% since 2019, Like that's kind of a problem for regular people. And they're going to wonder why they're more pinched. And you can say, yeah, well, wages went up too somewhat and blah, blah, blah. But 30% inflation, like, dude, this is, if we can't talk about that and talk about like just realistically, like, okay, it's going to take a while, but here's what we're going to do. That's huge. And then housing prices, like there's all kinds, some of the stuff there is cutting regulations, right? Providing models of how to do this and just crushing the left's approach, which is really stupid. But there's a bunch of things when it comes to housing prices and it comes to policy that would help younger people that just need to be had out as debates. And overall, the message has to be, we're working on a menu of options that are actually going to help you in very real ways. And that's just common sense politics. And I think there's probably a bunch of inventive things that could be done that are thinking outside these boxes. Once you drop the whole, like, it's only limited government all the time, right? And think about realistically, yeah, some of that's needed, a lot of that's needed, but also what policies should we have that are actually going to help us? I think we'll have new ideas that just haven't been talked about very much at all yet, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it seems like if you're saying there's no problem, it undermines a lot of the points on the right. Like what the right is supposing about American society is that millions of undocumented immigrants came in, so that affected the housing market. Women entered the labor market, so that affected your ability to get a job because it doubled the competition. And it also justified paying you less, So there's all these ways in which, or Biden and inflation, right? Like you were saying, like printing 30% of the dollars over a 3-year span massively reduces your buying power. So when Crenshaw or these people are like, these boomers in general are like saying there's no problem, the subtext of that is immigration isn't a problem. Like gender equality in the workforce isn't a problem. Like printing money isn't a problem. So it just seems to me like it undermines the entire conservative platform.
And what you said does. I agree. I completely agree. Completely undermines everything MAG is about, everything they're trying to do. And it's just nonsensical boomerism that was the same as what we had before. And it's not very interesting either. It bores me to tears. And so I think what you hit on is what I should have said actually as part of the response to Isaac's question. Another really important thing for me is you have to tie mass deportation and the immigration problem to this problem. I mean, the left used to know this. Everyone used to know this. It's a fact of life. It's a basic economic fact. If you dump millions of people who are vulnerable and will work cheaply, and you worship cheap labor, then you're going to screw it for everybody else. If you bring in tons of Indian H-1Bs to work in tech, then you're screwing your own kids and your own civilization. And if you you think that that's a-okay, you literally are taking food out of the mouths of young people and families. And also you push the system on them. You can't just blame an 18-year-old for where they go to college and what they major in. You allowed a public system to grow up that people with money, people who are older, supported. They gave millions and billions of dollars, right, to this university system, and they're very proud of being trustees. And then they go, "Oh, I'm sorry, you young people, you shouldn't have gone there and taken out those loans," right? I mean, the entire system pushes you to do that, and you taught a bunch of nonsense there. And so so they don't have an education that matters. They're in debt, and they're looking at what to do, and they don't even know where the problem is. But tying the immigration problem to the actual economic, benefits that Americans would receive if there were a lot less of them here is just true and common sense. And it hits two birds with one stone in terms of what can turn this around. And frankly, like, I don't even think it should be partisan. The only reason it's partisan is because one side gets power from this.
Yeah. How would you grade Trump 2 on the issue of immigration and deportations?
I think that there's still time. I would say it's hard. I want to say B, but I could also say C, right? C plus, B minus. I mean, in one sense, they completely turned the tide and stopped the craziness. And that is, no joke. The administration completely shut down the flow of millions of people, which will return if, an R doesn't win. And actually, the administration as well has been instrumental in completely reshaping American society's like talking points about this and the culture. People have always been against it. It keeps happening anyway in majorities, but I think it's pretty monumental, the reversal that's occurred. At the same time, there's still obviously real work to do in terms of implementing that plan. And the president got rid of, DHS Barbie for a reason. And so I think that, there's huge progress made. ICE has tons of money to do great things, but there still is work to do to actually push this. And I would say the main thing, and to some extent, you can't blame the administration for this. The main thing is we know what would get rid of this tomorrow, and that's going to the workplaces. You go to the workplaces, you start throwing people in jail, but there are way too many Republicans. I think the administration, for the most part, is on the right side of this, although there's people in there who are also, I think, on the wrong side of it. And you will get rid of this tomorrow, but we have too many businesses who give money to the Republican Party, right, who are okay with cheap labor and do not want that touched at all. And that's a battle that still needs to be fought out, and the clock is ticking.
Yeah, that's a big one. That's a really big one.
So you would say that's a stronger, like, I think some people basically see it as like the Trump administration started deporting people, and then the sort of like disappearing people in the middle of the night aspect was just too scary and draconian that they eventually walked it back. But it sounds like you're saying that the employer issue is the larger problem that's kind of like holding that back.
I think that the ultimately you don't need or want to go to every house in America, right, and ask are you harboring illegal aliens. On the other hand, I do think that backing down in Minnesota was not the best move. I think there were some problems in the approach there and some of the personnel, but I think like ultimately, if you really try to do this, there's going to be incidents that are going to lead to protests. And the question is, are you willing to go all the way? So I'm very hardline on this. I mean, I support the mass deportation coalition, not because I'm some kind of like hard right, whatever, but because I think this is one of the most important issues in America, and they're absolutely correct. So I think they should keep pushing. I wonder about the prudence of the approach, though. I'd say you need to kind of educate the public about this over time, and there's ways to do that in a way that would make more sense. I'm actually okay with not doing this in blue states and letting everyone go there at first, because they're all going to run there if you start patrolling the red states, and then dealing with the blue state problem. But fundamentally, we have this tension about the workplace stuff, and that's the real way to get everyone to go. You start locking people up who own the businesses, it would change the game. But
how many times has that happened? We've never seen that. You've never seen a guy getting locked up that owns the business ever once.
It's very, very rare.
And you could go after the really extreme examples.
Yes.
Go after the really extreme ones. Like
Mama Magazine. All of our staff.
We do have one guy. We have
the more
one
extreme they are,
guy. And it haunts me.
Everyone has a guy.
Yeah, we have one guy.
The more extreme they are, I feel like the more money and influence they have to never be messed with, because like that is one of the biggest, I think, and I forget who was talking about it. I don't know if it was Massey. I don't know who it was that was talking about this, but it's like you go to the South and you talk to people that are against immigrant, deportations. It's a lot of roofers and guys like that are like, man, you're getting rid of our workforce. Like, I'm not gonna be
you know who was really good on this
truck? It's like the American Kulak, the overseer class of the South is like, dude, I finally am getting mine, and I got pretty good slaves working for me. You guys are trying to get rid of them.
Dude. Charlie Kirk was like really good about this issue. I remember seeing he did some like public event with all these employers, and they were all these like,
about, I think.
Yeah. And he literally says to them, he goes, how many of you guys are hiring illegal aliens? And they raise their hands, and he goes, how many of you know that that's a federal crime? And he was just like, what you're doing is a federal crime, and we have to be honest about that. But yeah, I think I haven't heard that from many of the Trump 2 people as a talking point.
So right, and so it's been in the background of some of these debates with the farm workers and the hotels. Trump will come out and sort of say like, well, we have to be careful there, blah blah blah. But look, it's ongoing. It's debated. I don't want to. I'm not a doomer about this. The Trump administration has done actually an amazing job. I'm not saying that just to kiss their ass, and reverse things and changed a lot, and they still are. But there's a long way to go, and we still haven't. The fork in the road will be fighting some of these. These two things. Are you willing to go in and actually deport people and do more of what they were trying to do in Minnesota? And are you willing to go after the workplace and the wealthy?
You like Vance or Rubio?
I am 100% Vance.
Okay.
JD Vance will be the next president of the United States. I don't think that Rubio really, has a path or will run. I mean, some crazy things would have to happen.
Little Marco.
He's definitely gonna run, right? He's not gonna run.
He's big Marco now. He's big He's the biggest Marco you've ever seen. He definitely could run. Yes. But I just don't think there's really a path there unless Trump himself either says, I want you to duke it out, which is certainly possible. But I think that still Vance is the favorite, according to polls, he is. Or, Trump changes his mind in some way. I just see it as a very difficult path for him, even though he's been incredible and is great at many things. I think there's a little bit of an overemphasis and some wish casting going on about him, where he's not quite the same as a Vance, who's been more of a stalwart and, who's on the podcast and things is just kind of, I think, better organically, even though Rubio's an incredible, rhetorician and speaker.
Yeah, but what they're gonna do with Vance is try to make him a tech guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're gonna be like. Oh, he's a tech guy. He loves data centers.
Right.
He wants to put a data center in your house right now. You're on mute, you fucking retard, Harrison. You're on mute.
First off,
Not a tech guy.
Come on here more. It's enjoyable.
He is a tech guy, though. That's where he comes from.
Yeah, he is. It's true.
World.
He is kind of a tech
that is his that's how he made his money. So that is, and I'm curious though. I definitely think people like Rubio are they're going to have a lot of money thrown at them from the anti-Vance crowd, which I think is this sort of woke right, interesting coalition that's gearing up, from Miriam Edelson and whoever else is going to be mad at what's happening there. But the only saving grace there is going to be like, eventually they have to see how bad things are on the left for them, like, and either get on the bandwagon or like keep losing mind share to the anti-Semite crowd. Because like, even if Nick Fuentes isn't even anti-Semitic anymore, and you're still kind of like still banging that drum, I think at some point we gotta let's rein it in here, because you guys you're trying to foment something that's like not real anymore. I think that's the weird place.
Yeah, I think the woke right stuff is just, it doesn't really have any legs. I think the data center stuff does, and because first off, the data centers is sort of ridiculous. Like, I can just poo-poo the whole thing, because it's the same as like real estate developers or anyone else trying to get a deal with cities. Like, you got to negotiate with them. You got to negotiate a good deal. There's all kinds of powers that want to build things in your town or region. You just got to negotiate with them. There's nothing nefarious about this particular one. On the other hand, I think there's something deeper, which is big tech and AI going to centralize things and tyrannize us or not? And is the data center a symbol of something that we can be proud of that actually gives us sovereignty? Or is it, a tool of a kind of tyrannical symbol? And the jury's still out on that. So that's a real debate that needs to happen. And that's, something we've already started to do with Forum, which is,
let's get into that. So good segue. Incredible segue. This is a real media professional right here. I love how you just explained that.
I was waiting for you guys.
We were trying.
This is what we're doing, and this is what we're doing it for.
We're doing it for 'em.
Harrison, why is your camera getting increasingly greasy and dark?
It's getting
like,
darker
are you just
in here.
are you
Red
rubbing
is
fried
soul.
chicken on your camera?
It's
You
I
look
got
like
a
those
steaming
little like
bowl of
Italian
gumbo.
Oompa Loompas.
My steaming bowl of gumbo just
My gumbo is getting on the screen. It's getting
That's
hot
all
here.
good.
in
Can we
the
talk
room.
Louisiana
about Matt's
filter.
venture here? Can we not focus on my fat, sweaty?
I think you're gonna have a heart attack before this episode ends.
All right, look, the light's up. We're trying to increase the light.
There you
Look,
go.
Back,
I
I'm
can do
glowing.
form in 5 minutes. Then I have to go. Hopefully, I can come back
Yeah,
on.
no, you're good.
Come
You've
back
done
on.
your time. You've done your time.
But just sitting here, chatting, kind of fun.
Watching Harrison turn redder and redder.
I know. I forgot about how much fun it is to just talk. It's ridiculous.
Well, that's what we're doing at Forum.
Yeah, that's what we're doing it for.
That is what
Good
we're
call.
doing it for.
Yeah, so in-person events where the right debates the future, quasi-public, I call it. There'll be most events have video that is put out to the public and will be available, and sponsors are using that now. In the future, this will evolve into media, but for the time being, this is in-person events and corporate or NGO sponsored, but whenever possible, both sides of these disputes are sponsoring. And in these discussions, you can't say debate because it scares everyone these days. Like, oh, I can't be involved in that. Oh my gosh. But in these discussions, the goal is what people crave is like not podcast talk anymore, like not influencers ranting. They really want to hear sort of the anti-podcast podcast. They want to hear, I think, people, and what the value is people who know things dispute and discuss, variations on themes. And you hear the podcasters throwing feces at each other, right? And you see it every day. But I think there's a hunger for actual discussions about AI, about important issues in MAHA and tech. What are the actual disagreements? And what I really want to use it for is we got to get out of this kind of all or nothing. We memed ourselves into this like podcastistan situation, in which it's like all or nothing with these sides. And you're like, what are you talking about? This is a big, beautiful coalition that broke the left's back. The first time I haven't heard anyone say that the election was stolen from the left in a long time. And Trump was not supposed to win. This was a monumental generational win. We live in a time, after the death of Charlie Kirk, where maybe we could learn some lessons here. And we can disagree in a coalition about big boy things like adults and have discussions about it. And that's actually interesting. And so I don't think that debate is over. I think that actually intelligent people who have different views talking to each other, it helps both like elites, like policymakers and people trying to figure it out, to see that side by side, to see both sides kind of, counteract each other. And it helps regular people who are, very intelligent, like your audience, that wants to, or retard maxing, as the case may be. They want to see that too. They want to see these two things side by side with sort of the edge off, where it's kind of like, let's really try to figure out what the roots of the disagreement are. And sometimes it may get hot and heavy, but that's not where the point is. We're trying to actually figure this out. When you have a big, beautiful coalition, the normal thing is politically that it fights about the spoils and what we should do with the victory. And so I feel like this is what Forum is focusing on in-person events in DC and also upcoming in Texas, which will be announced soon. So I think that's just what's interesting to me. And it's sort of like what media companies and think tanks aren't doing and can't quite do in the same way that I can with my team as a third party. And that's Forum.
You've already had some great stuff, like right out of the gate. I saw some big people conversing on a stage. So how did you build this? Like, how did you get people to come out and be on the stage and stuff so fast?
Well, I'm a very convincing man, Isaac.
You are. It's very true.
Yeah. So I think that just kind of my career and credibility and leverage and the acknowledgement by people that this is needed, right? It's actually needed. You want to reach people who, if you're a corporate or NGO, you want to reach people who are important on this issue as well as everybody watching. And in order to do that, the best way to do that is really to allow for disputed questions to be disputed. So when it comes to the AI issue, for instance, neither side can win without hashing it out. Like, you're not going to win if in one of the debates we had, if Joe Allen, who's a Steve Bannon guy, makes some very scary points about the tech overlords, is just talking to himself or on War Room and shouting into the wind. And you're not going to win if you're on the A16Z sort of accelerationist side, if you just pretend that the populist right might not turn on you. And if it does, it doesn't matter. You're actually going to have to, duke this out in some way. And so it actually works best for me, not as entertainment. You know what I mean? Like I say, like, I don't want to debate. Debates are super fun, and I will be happy to produce them in the future when it is like performative before a crowd. But I want this to feel more like you're listening to five guys in a bar who are smart and have different shades of, agreement and disagreement, kind of hash it out. Because I feel like I learn more from that in an accelerated way than I do from a lecture. So I think you have sponsors who know that this is important, that this is actually fills a need. And then you have a hungry audience of people. And usually, by the way, these are very vetted. So it's sort of invite only events in DC. So you make sure that the people coming, it is exclusive. It's a good mix, though, of people who are interested and you want to reach and you want to mingle with in person. And this is normal in DC. I mean, this is the way that the other side works. This is the way the ecosystem works, where media companies partner. People don't realize Politico, Axios, Punchbowl, 10% of the revenue of those companies or more comes from events because of this dynamic. People want to meet in person. And in general, as you guys know, people want to meet in person more than ever. But I do have to make a call regarding forum. I have reached the end of my time. So I will take my leave and thank you.
Dude, all good, man. Thank you so much for coming, Matthew. God, I keep calling you Matt for some reason.
It's all right,
but
guys.
Yeah, we'll see you soon.
Thanks for having me. Cheers.
Yeah,
Love you, man.
Peace.
Good to see you.
Bye.
Talk
Thanks.
soon. He's great, man. He's such a he kind of reminds me of James Pogue sometimes. The two of them together, we might have to do we got to do some sort of mama sponsored forum or forum sponsored mama.
It's a good idea.
I wonder if we could ever do a podcast where Isaac doesn't always look like he's doing something else the whole time.
Dude, I was paying so much attention on that whole
I know you were
thing.
paying attention a little bit.
We'll be in like a sales meeting where we're selling a client a $500,000 2-year deal. And the client will be like explaining, and Isaac will just be like smiling as he laughs at Cometown Groiper 420 tweet.
Gaping asshole Groiper just tweeted Patriot to me right now.
Do you guys want to know what I'm really doing? I'm scrolling Instagram and I like the things being crushed. I just like random objects. I just I like a sushi chef just cutting.
No.
It's just a nice visual background, I just scroll and it's sushi chef cuts tuna. And it's just like that.
You gotta get
and then
it.
it's like a glass fruit and it's being cut.
Right.
Dude, you gotta.
That's what I'm looking at. I'm just like, oh, that's so soothing.
The X slop is better. X algorithm is better dude,
the Instagram algorithm's so good. It's just dude,
I can't. I'm almost.
I like the ones I get on X. I get just the egg videos. I get Japanese guys cooking eggs.
Oh
perfectly,
yeah,
and
dude,
scrambling them,
best.
and I get all
pizza.
those.
Sometimes it's just a nice pizza. Oh, dude, I'm looking at pizza right now.
You don't
just
watch chiropractor vids?
pizza. It's so good.
We should just Isaac. Can you just screen share?
I'm gonna
Can you
screen share what I'm
your
looking at
slot?
right now, dude. Look,
Okay.
look at this pizza,
Because
man.
at least let
Look at
us
this fucking
also watch
pizza, man.
these
Oh,
This is dude monitoring
Look
the
at this
scroll right
pizza.
here.
This is what I'm looking at. I'm just like, oh, dude,
So
that's
good,
such a
dude.
good pizza, man.
That is a good pizza.
Scroll, and then this is stupid. This is all dumb. Drag fundraiser.
Drag
Oh my
fundraiser.
God.
Oh, James Dickerson.
No, yeah, he's talking shit about it. But then oh wow, look at that.
Dude, that might be AI.
Oh, dude, would that be good? Maybe kind of gross. Maybe not good. Oh, look at this thing.
Oh no, this is
a little cute Chinese toy.
They're trying to get you to buy some shit for your kid. That's the worst, dude.
More pizza, dude. Yes.
I really get duped into buying shit off of here.
Ooh,
I don't know
sauce.
what's going on with that guy? Oh, Poncho.
Steve Spurrier, baby. That's the old ball coach.
That's all
Oh,
ball
hell
code.
yeah. What is that?
Dude.
What
What
is
is
that?
going on here?
They got
Pune.
a
Pune.
schnitzel.
What
I'm gonna
even
put
is
some
that?
thoughts
That
on
looks
What
like a
even, what
schnitzel.
even is that? It's incredible.
Yeah, that's like a Viennese
That's a
schnitzel
schnitzel, dude.
right there.
Really good.
Oh,
Oh, here's something being cleaned right into this guy's crotch.
AI
Oh,
was
that's
Super realistic.
Yeah, dude, you are.
No, I don't like the game ones.
You're in
Chorizo lover. Chorizo.
Send
That
this
looks
to a
good.
chorizo lover. Do you do that?
Dude, this is what I'm talking about right here. I just watch this shit all day. Just random
Bro, that-
AI shit happening. Like, what is it? Green lipstick on purple sugar strawberry cake. Oh, dude.
there we go.
Yeah,
Right back at it.
here, man. Whoa. How do they even make that happen? Really,
That's a good cut.
really impressive.
This should just be the podcast. I think we just cracked the
looking at
formula.
Monitoring the
That's
scroll.
Oh, and then here's a
Oh,
bit.
yeah,
Yeah, and
here
then
you
every
go.
time then you get just like a slut who's just walking down the street. Oh yeah, I like these ones too. I like the wood cutting
These are
ones.
good.
This is nice.
Yeah.
This is pleasant.
Yeah,
Cutting
you
a
guys
little
don't want to see
star
my
in here.
shit. Dude, my For You page is insane. It's literally just pimples exploding, feet, and chiropractor videos.
Ooh, like the
Pimples
snapping.
explode.
neck.
Yeah. Pimples exploding.
shit.
Oh, yeah. Popping vids.
You like pimple exploding vids?
I mean, I stop and watch, and Instagram goes, you might like this shit.
That's fucking fuck. That's fucked up.
That's like, dude, that's
that
like
is
one of
fucked.
There's
up.
literally like a TV show called Dr. Pimple Popper. It's so people love that shit.
You're
Dude.
just fucking.
And dude, when I see a video,
Yeah.
it's got 9 billion views.
yeah. Every time it's like 10.7
And you know-
million
Yeah,
views.
10 billion
And,
views.
like
It's
we're
very
like excited
satisfying.
when we have like
Yeah.
1,500 views. I'm
And
one
you
of
know
those
it's legit.
stupid
'Cause the
articles.
first 7 comments are like, "Pray for my mother in India." Or something like that. You know, it's like holy shit, the entire world saw this, and like it is legit, and we are all praying for this dude's mom in India.
Pray for my mom. In India.
It's like the comment under that is like, "What's wrong, baby?" And it's like a 500-pound woman in Alabama, and she's just like going back and forth with some dude in India. You're like, okay, this is a global vid. Gotta watch this one.
yeah.
Yeah, dude. Chiropractor's huge for me too. That's huge on my. I've
I don't get
like
those.
healed my own back by just watching a chiropractor video.
Dude,
It's
yeah,
like-
you like the weird like
Huh.
Yeah, like weird.
You like
Yeah,
body
you
horror.
like
A lot of
body
cooking.
horror. You
I
like
do
the
a lot of cooking and
weird
food
body.
too, but now I do that on Google or YouTube Shorts is my algo for guns and food, shit like that.
What kind
But I'll
of
be
food you
watching-
got? Can we see some food content that you like?
Mine is all eggs. I see my algo is all egg dishes, which is
Yeah,
so
well, because
good.
you love
love that.
eggs.
Yeah, it's perfect.
It is amazing that we just get fed content.
Exactly what
of
we
what
love.
Sometimes I forget to switch out of the like my mama accounts, and then I'm getting real weird stuff, and I'm like, what is happening? Hold on, let me go to my For You page. Yeah, I don't even know. Let me go to YouTube. You guys don't know the shit that I just be on. Okay, I'm gonna share.
Dude, my ass hurts so bad. There's no position I can sit. There's no way I can adjust myself where it's not excruciating pain.
Oh wait, I gotta switch out of the account that I'm in. I shouldn't do this on screen, but whatever.
Your mind tells you yes.
This is the best restaurant snack I've ever tried.
Recently, we went to New York
These
City
guys
and
are
tried lots of
great.
iconic dishes. But there's a reason these crisps have been on the menu at Union Square Cafe for 20 years. Start by wrapping your whole
Crisps.
garlic bulb in foil and roast at
Oh,
160
this
for
is
35
fucking
minutes.
get out
You
of
slice
here.
off
This
the
is
base of the
fucking
bulb
lame.
and
Stop
squeeze
it.
Whoa, Chris! Hide the fish!
Oh, yeah. Hey, Mike, I know you
There
think
we
your
go.
truck is totally sick, but this is what
This
I
was
think.
actually- this was a real ad. This was a real Toyota ad. This is a really when men used to make commercials, which no. And they put Kanye.
I love that they just put it to Kanye.
They put the Kanye.
Dude,
in
you
it.
know, there's literally like caves filled with millions of Indians, and they're doing is just putting like the most mundane content next, like with
They get one little idea
with Kanye's background music, and you're like, you'll literally get chills and cry to like a commercial. That was.
You're scaring him.
Oh, here we go.
Patient is psychotic, Dr. Murphy.
He's not psychotic. You don't like people touching you. He's not psychotic. He's autistic.
This light is too bright. These rooms make him anxious. Can we take him home?
No. Your son is jaundiced. He should not go home.
Can you talk to him or something? Can't push the midazolam.
4 lights, 4 doors.
Yes, lots of things.
32, 8.
32 is the number of cabinet windows, and 8 is the number of handles.
You've been around a lot of other autistic
Holy
people.
shit.
I've never met someone with autism.
To prep him for the laparoscopy, we need to remove 4 small incisions.
He's not
in the
dying.
stomach.
He's just
I don't
retarded.
need to do it.
This is
I don't
just
need to do
the
it.
reality.
I don't need to.
What the
I get
world
lost.
wants
You're
is
safe
for
now.
white
I get
people
lost.
to be
I'm hungry.
considered autistic. Like it's just that he's white and he's just white and like unapologetic, so he's autistic. That's all that
Is this not real?
all autism is being white and unapologetic. That's
This is
the
a
entire
show. This
condition.
is
He's
a
just
show
like,
about like
I'm
an
gonna
autistic-
talk like this, which is that I don't give a fuck. Yeah, it's unbelievable, dude.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Huh. Let's do this.
Watch a lot of this.
So all these high
I'm watching
ratings,
a
low
lot
ratings.
of gun
The
content.
standard for us under 1 second.
A lot of jacked
A lot of
guys.
jack dudes,
Yep.
thick boys,
Stand by.
Guns.
thick
Look at
dudes.
those biceps.
Shooting some guns.
0.78.
Dude, I don't want to shoot
Slow
any
ready.
guns
You ready?
until I can shoot
Stand
it
by.
at the living thing. That's my thing. I don't like. I hate going to a gun range. It's just like it's like going to a strip club. A gun range and the strip club are the same thing.
So true.
It's just like a fucking.
Good take.
It's like a blue balls. It's like, what the fuck do I want to go shoot inanimate objects for? I want to
That's true, but it's
kill.
also- but
the whole
killing
point of
things
a
is
gun
pretty
is that I kill
traumatic,
someone.
though.
Well, no, the thing is at a strip club, you can pay extra to go in the back and get blown. But at a gun range, you should be able to pay extra and go in the back and like shoot a dog.
Champagne
Oh my
Or
god!
an illegal immigrant.
God!
That's what we need to make. We need to make a strip. We need to make a gun range with a champagne room where you pay extra and you get to actually kill something.
That is insane.
I completely agree with that.
Yeah. There's got to be private rooms in the
I
back.
completely agree. Have you ever hunted, Peterson?
Yeah. I've
Have you ever killed anything hunting?
Yes, killed
What-
3 or 4 things.
What did you kill?
I've killed a deer. I've killed probably 12 squirrels, a dozen or so grackles.
So I have never done it. I will admit. So how do you feel when you kill something?
I killed the first and only
Grackle.
deer I've ever shot. I was 16 or 17. I was 16. Summer before my junior year. And I was like
Did you
kind
eat
of
it?
emo about it, but like now I don't know if I necessarily would be, but you know, when you're like 16, you're like, yeah, this is like a big deal. But it's just not good. I think it's bad. It's bad for the soul to like kill things unless you're gonna eat them, and like you have to.
I think it's good for the soul to kill things.
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah. You're kind of you're vampire-y. And when you do that,
Yeah.
when you kill things, that's how you get boils on your ass. Are
I
we not
guess,
supposed to
dude.
talk about
It's
that?
so bad. It's so bad. I can't lie down. I can't sit.
Can
It's
we
just
look into
excruciating pain all
so
day.
how big is it now?
It's probably an inch,
Quarter
would say.
size?
quarter sized at its peak.
And so that's in that area. So you could have one of those things.
It's right below my tailbone. I think it's the one that you
Oof.
sent.
Dude, you got to go.
Yeah.
And you're having fever symptoms.
And I woke up today with a really bad sore throat. Maybe a fever. Nausea.
Guys, in the chat, if anybody is a doctor in the chat, could you guys maybe tap in if you're listening? If you are,
Does he have a staph infection?
does he have a staph infection? Does he
Is it
have AIDS? Does he have?
It's not staph. I just stopped doing blow. I wasn't having any acids for months when I was doing blow all the time.
Acids?
Acids.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Can we watch more slop videos?
You want me to roll more slop?
I was interested in your algorithm. There's a lot of hot guys, weapons,
Yeah. Okay.
funny
Let's see.
commercials.
We can go back to it. This is good. This is good content. You know, people care about this stuff. All right, how are we doing here?
Hey, yo, brother, you mind if I step up? No, get out.
Class.
Who are you? What? Who are you? Who I'm what? Who are you? You asked me who I am? That was in a rude way?
Who am what?
I'm just asking what's your name? Jay Vigo. Hey, nice to meet you, man. Hey, thank you guys for coming to my club. What's your club? What's your name? Clouds. What? Clouds. I thought it was Mr. High shit, my bad. Don't worry about it. Hey, yo.
Oh shit! All right.
Who got humbled? Oh, this is good stuff.
What's the hack? We don't fry our eggs, we bake them into a tray, add a little bit of oil, and then crack your eggs directly into the trays. For perfect fried eggs, bake in the oven 2.5 minutes at 160 degrees with a little humidity. At home, you can use a small pan of water. Look at those egg yolks. Woo! So season them up, touch a mold in. Absolutely perfectly fried eggs, really consistent every time. On breakfast serving.
Oh, great hack.
Hey,
Wow.
I'm Ronnie.
Wow.
I'm introducing myself because I figured, you know, you're new to school, you don't really know.
I can't do that. Here we go. Pit stop.
Wait, what happens in 2006? 26.
So a stunning first
Everyone is gay. They're all gay.
Possibly explained by how early he's coming in. You can see we've still got 48 and 57 to go, so he's
Well,
not
we
even
definitely
done
won't
10
have
laps yet.
Marvel.
Man,
Making
I
his
wonder who
That
those
was
first
way
start.
faster. Way faster in 2026. This is 2010. See how fast it is in 2010. Okay, about the same as 2026.
Launch map.
That seemed even faster. 2020.
Whoa, that was nothing. These are pit stop lengths.
Yeah, pit stop length. Cool. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I've seen a million of these. These are always.
Got some fishing.
Oh. Okay, you got a yellowfin tuna there.
Then he eats the sushi right there.
Oh, wow. It's just a live kayak sushi?
Yeah.
That. Whoa, what is all this shit? Oh, yeah, and he's cooking something. Oh, this is a lot. This is extremely complicated.
He might be doing pasta.
I think he's doing
He's
pasta.
making a fish
noodles.
pasta on a kayak.
Italian seasoning, some egg,
Some egg.
Uncle breadcrumbs,
Uncle breadcrumbs. It needs to meatballs of the tuna.
Meatballs.
Wow, he's making tuna meatball pasta on his kayak. Incredible.
I mean,
He just caught a tuna and made pasta.
I mean,
He caught a tuna and made pasta out of it on the kayak. That is amazing.
On a headset
Sean
on
Ryan.
Roblox and Minecraft.
And a big surprise today for
Wait, that
one
was
Channel
good.
8 Eyewitness News reporter when her longtime boyfriend showed up to
Yeah.
propose to her.
I love you.
could you imagine?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Could you possibly
That's
imagine?
terrible. It'd be great.
What a cut.
Now. Could you imagine if she
And a
did
big surprise
zero
today for one
opportunity
Channel
to
8
say
Eyewitness
no?
News reporter
What a
when her
simp.
longtime
Zero opportunity.
Dang. You're giving me a lot of McConaughey.
I had no idea they existed. I just would randomly see guys with long beards, long hair, never in uniform on our compound. And I didn't know who
Dude,
they
you
were.
get a
I thought
lot
they
of
were
kind of
workers or
sexy soldier
contractors or
comments.
Hell
something.
yeah.
Never knew who they were. It's
I'm just
rare
saying.
you
You better
see these
believe it.
guys. They're
All right. So
I have to go to
everybody was
couples
really into
therapy.
that
I have to go to couples therapy right now. Doesn't that sound fun?
right now.
How's that
On
been going?
Tuesday nights, I do 2 hours of podcasting and then go right into 2 hours of couples therapy.
2 hours?
Really just a great Tuesday.
Wait,
you know?
2 hours?
Just 4 straight hours of me talking.
There's no way you do it for 2 hours.
Yeah, no, it's like it's an hour and a half. 90 minutes. It's a 90-minute session.
That's
What are you guys going to talk about today?
Mm,
What intimate issues are you going to discuss?
That's horrific, dude.
Yeah, that's what I have to do right now, dude. 4 straight hours.
Not sure it's worth it.
Yeah.
Do you also in couples therapy watch Instagram videos the whole
Yeah,
time?
we just like watch like crabs being fished. Like, what do you think
Your
of
wife's
this?
like-
What do you guys think of
Your
this?
wife's like
Right.
crying, and you're like on your phone watching
Like,
pizza
what do you guys think
videos.
of this lipstick in a fluffy diamonds?
It's like it's in a sugar cookie, but it's not. It's just AI.
What do you guys think of lipstick on fluffy diamonds?
It's the frosting. What kind of frosting do you think that is? Wow. This is like probably the best. This is the most Jeb Bush episode we've.
This is
Episode
definitely-
is so
dude, I'm
Jeb.
sick and
Jeb.
kind of drunk.
Hold on, let me see how these look like. How does this look a little better?
I think we should just do a slopcast, and it's just all
Us
AI
just
videos.
looking at slop.
I think that's kind of a new medium in podcasting
Yeah,
that no one's
MTS.
explored.
Slop
Mon-
reaction.
Monitoring the slop.
Slop reaction cast.
Monitoring the slop, dude. MTS. Isn't that
Who's doing
Isaac?
that?
Wasn't that the podcast? Weren't you on their show?
Yeah, I was on their show. Well, they were trying to really get in with. They clearly want to be TBPN. They're trying to be the new TBPN. So they just sit around and talk about. I don't know.
I don't know if that's
things that
necessarily
are
true though. They
happening.
don't do like tech necessarily.
Yeah, they do, dude.
Only?
Yes, totally.
Hmm.
That's totally a tech. I mean, they clearly have some thesis because they do kind of like stick with their thesis, kind of. But like, yeah, I think that it's just very obviously like TBPN too. I will
Nobody's
say
gonna
though that
chat.
it's like it is true that like these long streams, it is like that's kind of where the juice is. People like these long streams. And they just like tune in and
You
out,
should
I
sh-
guess. I don't
You
know.
should
How does it work?
stream on. You should stream your couples therapy.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
It's a great idea. I'm
then
sure my
I
wife would be really,
like.
I'm sure she'd be so down to stream our couples therapy.
Could you imagine?
You should have like James Pogue join you in couples therapy.
Be like, what do you think, James Pogue?
And he's just like, well, you.
You'd be like, the thing about Bretton Woods is that
The thing with Isaac's marriage is like the
thing about
problem is,
Bretton
well,
Woods is
I have
that
to go
it's
back
putting
to
a lot of pressure on your marriage.
I have to go back to Isaac as a child to really understand like what's wrong with the marriage.
But you can blame this on Isaac as much as you want, but really it goes back to Ronald Reagan and what was happening right around the time Isaac's born. This also
Really, it's about Richard Nixon being so based. Do you guys know Richard Nixon was so based? Should I say that to my couples therapist? The first thing, just be like, Richard Nixon is sick. Did you know that? Did you know Richard Nixon is like really cool? He one time said the N-word on a recording. Cotton Mather says the editor of Mama goes to couples therapy. Black pill.
Black Pill. So
What am I
true.
supposed to do, Cotton Mather?
So true,
What am I
dude.
supposed to
It's
do?
like
What are you
what
doing,
a
Cotton
lark.
Mather?
what a lark.
What, are you,
What am
what
I
is a
supposed
LARP?
to
This is
do?
this is the opposite of a LARP. This is the real deal, man. This is real life.
Dude,
This is what it really looks like.
cannot
This is
believe
real
This is
shit.
the real fucking thing, dude. Yeah, this is what it really looks like when
That
you're,
is so
you're
good,
in it.
dude.
When you're in it.
What it is such a black pill. Cleo.
Black pill.
It is not a black.
It's not actually. Oh, dude, can't wait for that fact pass.
It's not.
Do not write that article, fucking Isaac. Actually, couples
therapy is
not fucking
based.
gay. Yeah.
Couples therapy is based. It's honestly is. Like, I'm not even kidding.
Couples therapy is gone.
Dude, have you ever done it?
Yes.
It's gone.
Couples therapy is so gonzo because you're telling true stories in it.
And your editor,
the most
and your
gonzo.
editor
Couples
didn't pay
therapy
you
is
to tell
really
to tell
gonzo.
that story.
Wait,
Remember?
you've never done it?
Oh, I've
Harrison?
done it. No, I've done
Yeah.
it for
So
sure.
what are you talking about, motherfucker? Everybody fucking does.
Isaac,
It's not
be honest about
currently
this.
Everybody does.
for-
Everybody does. Yes. Go ahead.
Isaac, be honest. Have you ever brought up your algorithm problems in couples therapy?
No. I've never brought up
Okay.
What is that supposed to mean?
I believe
What
you.
is that supposed to mean?
Because I was sure at least one time in couples therapy you've mentioned you getting algo
Did you see,
reported.
did you
Why-
see what Sam Batch
what is
said
that?
about Gonzo?
What did he say?
Oh, come on, let me pull this tweet up. It's gonna be good. I thought you had read it. It would be something that you would chimp out about. I thought it was funny.
Wait, what did he say?
I'm gonna pop it up. 1 second. Share.
Dude, I'm just watching
There we go.
like
You want to read? You want me to?
crabs. Oh, I'm watching such good lobster tails right now being put butter on.
Look at what Sam Batch. Look at your boy. Some thoughts on the
God.
Gonzo style.
Why literally only one person has ever done it? You can sort of imitate it. Some people imitate it, but the best you can do is making Pepsi. You're just making Pepsi. I guess he means as opposed to Coke. There was only one guy who could make Gonzo Coca-Cola. And that is exactly because it requires some things that basically no editors would put up with in the 60s and exactly zero would put up with now. It necessarily involves taking money to write a story and then fucking the story up totally. If you set out to do gonzo reporting, then you're already doing something else, probably something closer to new journalism. But gonzo variety is a special subcase that involves total disrespect for the self, outlet, and subject. Yeah, I know what he's talking about. He's talking about the one time that Hunter S. Thompson got sent to maybe it was Norman Mailer or somebody. They got sent to cover like a boxing match. And they didn't even go to the boxing match. They just spent the whole
He
time
talks
getting in
about
the
that
pool.
at the end. He says basically the entire.
Yeah, I know what he's saying about. If you set up to do gonzo
okay.
reporting, you're already doing something else. Blah, 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 blah. Like I said, if you take money to write a story about X and then fail to write the story about X, and X has already been over, that is, you fucked it up and said blah, blah, blah. At this point, you have to file the story, blah, 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 yeah, which he can't fucking do. So, yeah, okay, Sam Batch, you want to see if we'll publish your gonzo story? Go fucking write it, which you can't fucking do. If you could do it, you wouldn't be writing fucking posts about it. He's like, no one would ever publish my gonzo story. Like, no, just write your fucking gonzo story. I bet you will publish it, but no, you're not going to fucking do that, are you? Because you're going to sit around, you're going to whine and complain, and you're never going to do anything. So,
yeah, we'll give you an assignment.
Yeah, go fuck up an assignment, motherfucker. You're not going to do it because then you wouldn't have any excuses and it would be too hard for you to actually do it. So he has no idea. He's not actually, he's just like trying to make some mental differentiation between like new journalism, which is subjective, and gonzo journalism, which is like more Hunter S. Thompson. But it's like, it doesn't fucking matter. It's all the same shit, you know?
I love it. I want to get, I'm trying to egg you into like a full on chimp out, but
no,
it is Stan Batch after all. It's so good. I'm trying to get him to come on the, pod. He might chime in.
Yeah.
Yeah, then can we just give him an assignment?
Yeah, and then he
just
can fuck it up.
do
No,
something?
he's not gonna do it. He's gonna be no, that's cringe, man. I can't do that because that would
Somebody
mean I
else should
actually have
text
to
him. I
sit
think he has
down
me
and
blocked.
fucking write, which is too hard for me to do. And that's
Batch has
really
you blocked?
hard.
Yeah, he always like goes through bouts of blocking me and stuff like that. It's very
Really? Now you're currently blocked.
I thought you guys were boys.
I mean, he's my boy. I don't know if I'm his boy.
I'm
Just
sure
blocks you
you
randomly.
are, his boy. I'm sure you are. He's just probably is
Sometimes he answers my text. Sometimes he doesn't.
mad right now.
Apparently, he does this to a lot of people.
What does he do?
Nothing. We're not gossiping here. Okay.
No gossip.
Anyways,
Sandwich. Sandwich.
Sandwich.
Sandwich.
I get it though. I like to block people.
Sandwich.
Sometimes I like to block people occasionally. I will say my most alcoholic friend one time, he was like, I was like, bro, you're when you're getting drunk and you do this and this and like it was really bad. And he said to me, he was like, well, all that stuff I do when I'm really hammered is stuff that I should do because all those people I should block and I just don't have the balls to do it normally. And I was like, damn, that is kind of true. It's like the shit that you do when you're real blackout, like it's bad. Like you shouldn't get blackout and you shouldn't do those things. But it is kind of like actually you are kind of like doing the right thing in those periods in a weird way. What do you guys think?
No.
True or not true?
No.
I don't think I behave that different when I'm drunk versus when I'm sober.
Yeah, well, it depends for me. I definitely do a lot of drunk tweeting. I'll do drunk DMing.
Yeah, that was last Tuesday. You got completely fucking hammered last Tuesday, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
You were real drunk.
just chimp out. Yeah, it's not good. So probably gonna not do that so much.
Are you still not smoking weed?
Yeah, I'm doing good though. Going through the withdrawals. I did have a little vodka. I'm not gonna
That's
lie.
okay. Wait, but are you still off the weed?
Yeah, I'm off the weed.
Dude, that's impressive, man. I really think you've been so much better in the past little bit of time. You also look way better.
Nice.
You look
Yeah.
way less like Bebop and Rocksteady, one of those guys from, remember Bebop? You look way less like Bebop.
I am not. I think you're 50 years old.
It's 55.
49.
I'm 75.
40.
I'm 75 years old.
Isaac J. Simpson over here. I don't know who Bebop or
You don't know who
whatever you're
Bebop
talking
and
about.
Rocksteady is? You don't know who Bebop and Rocksteady is, dude?
You don't know from the Dick Van Dyke Show? Bebop and Rocksteady?
Bro, yeah, what is this? Late night? I'm not like I don't even own rollerblades.
From the Dick Van Dyke. You don't know about the Dick Van Dyke Show, bro?
From the Andy
Don't know about
Corvée
the-
Colgate Hour?
Andy Griffith?
You don't remember Ski Bop and Booblap?
36?
No, dude.
Dude, the only good episode ever of that guy Tim Robinson show was the Jazz Enthusiast. You remember that?
Yeah,
that was the best. He was like, "You don't remember Old Shoe Robinson? Come on,
Roy Donk?
You don't know Roy
Donk?
Donk?" They get in a huge fight. That was like literally me at every party of my entire life. It's charades. It's Roy Donk. It's Roy Donk. It'll be like some esoteric movie. Dude, this is Bebop and Rocksteady right here, bro. How the fuck do you not know about Bebop and Rocksteady? I cannot believe that really is like I must have just generationally like not done
Dude,
this.
Bebop and who?
I can't believe you guys don't know this. This is insane to me that you guys don't know about Bebop and Rocksteady.
Bebop
and Rocksteady.
They were like do you remember the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Oh my
No?
god, no, I don't know.
You guys don't know about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Yeah,
Yeah, I know
Come
about
on.
that
I'm a
shit.
big Ninja Turtle guy though.
You were not a Ninja Turtle guy?
No, Not really.
I wasn't either.
I was a huge Ninja Turtle fan.
Were you really? You
Oh,
were into
yeah.
that?
This must have been a weird time warp. It must have been, you were like 1 year
Yeah.
ahead, and this must have just been for some reason not chill anymore. But yeah. Okay. Anyway, I have to go to couples therapy now, which is going to be fucking sick. Sick, fun party right now. Couples
Is this
therapy.
Bebop and Rocksteady right here?
Yeah, that's them. You look like the one with the
these were your,
glasses.
so your childhood heroes right here, basically.
Yeah, dude. Bebop, Rocksteady, man.
And were they ghetto? They kind of have like a ghetto vibe about them.
Well, everything was kind of ghetto then, you know.
Was this a show for black children
No.
that you
No.
watched? No.
Dude, shit wasn't like that back then.
No, yeah, there was no like shows for black people. That was not. And well, it was more like there were black shows for white people, like Family Matters. Remember that?
Cosby Show.
Okay, I gotta go. You guys can keep streaming, but
stream for a moment.
Yeah. Oh, dude, Barry,
We gotta go.
Barry was
Well,
a
we
huge
gotta go
Raphael
9
guy.
more minutes.
I was also a huge Raphael guy, dude. I was Raphael. You always liked one of them. You were like, which one is your one? I was Raphael, 100%.
Michelangelo.
I was a big Raphael guy. I had this.
I always thought Raphael was the gayest
Well,
one.
yeah, he did have the gayest weapon by far, which was those two little sais. They were called sais.
The least gonzo Ninja Turtle,
Yeah.
personally.
Yeah, he did have the worst weapon, but he was the coolest. He was like the badass one. He was like, I don't give a fuck. I'm Raphael. I wear red. Remember? And then Leonardo was like the really like Boy Scout one. And Donatello was kind of the chill fat one.
Yeah.
And then Michelangelo was like the party, like pizza, like let's get pizza. And Raphael was the like angry, like the angry one. And so I related to that, obviously.
Damn.
Okay, I gotta go. Fuck you guys. Bye.
Good luck.
Okay.
Wow.
Well.
All right. Well, let's watch Slop for 8 minutes till we hit 2 hours.
Watch Slop?
Let's watch YouTube Shorts for 8 minutes till we got to get to 2 hours. That's our rule.
Reaction video. Donatello had a stick. Donatello did have a stick. Donatello was the nerd. Donatello was the nerd. This is true. These are true things. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Let me see if I can get to my Slop channel.
I was drinking a lot during the Peterson part.
Yeah, we can get Peterson back in here.
I drank a little too much.
Oh no.
Yeah.
What should we do? Okay, here we go.
We should watch YouTube Shorts.
This is kind of like mixed in with like. Okay.
I do think this is a unique podcast format. I don't think anyone's doing this. Caller Daddy isn't doing this. TVPN isn't doing this.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a great format. How do we do it? So this is like, should we do it like this? Should we do more screen?
Yeah, that was good. No, I liked how you had it just now.
Like this? This?
Yeah.
Wait.
That's too much of you.
What about that?
That's fine.
This is probably better. That's going to be better. Okay. Let's do this.
Well, potassium. Get fish oil with
Music,
your salmon.
I just don't get it
Good for you.
sometimes.
Calcium, magnesium.
Why
zinc
is it like
complex.
sad? Did he die?
No.
This would be like the song if he died.
No, exactly.
Put all of them in your mouth at once.
So it like makes you hang
Vitamin
on
D.
longer
Okay.
to watch.
Well,
To
potassium.
find out why it's like
Yeah.
sad.
Get
It's
fish
like
oil
it's
with your salmon.
incongruent, and so it like
Good for
makes you
calcium,
watch
magnesium,
longer.
zinc complex.
This is what I hate about all this shit is like none of it. Everything's like predatory.
Yeah.
Every like
Vitamin
aesthetic
D.
decision
Okay.
is made to be
Well,
like
so they
predatory.
built this
somehow.
to be similar to slot machines. The scroll.
Whoa! When I was feeding the tarpon
Tarpon.
and the saxophones, tarpon and the saxophones started getting louder.
Where are you getting the O's from? It's like, hey, there was the last podcast or call. You guys kept saying,
Wait, I need to know how to pick up any girl. Hold on.
Hey, Lisa.
it's
not Lisa. I know.
how to
But
pick up any
every
girl.
time
A
I
scene
say,
from a
"Hey,
movie
Lisa,"
so
eventually
Indian.
she'll come up to me and she'll be like, my name's not Lisa, it's Jennifer, whatever. And I'll do a big apology. And I'll say, I thought you were the Lisa who was mad at me for not calling. And then from then on, Jennifer, or whatever her name is, will think that I dated a girl who looked just like her, who I rejected. She'll develop this unconscious need to win my approval, and from then on, it's cake.
Brilliant.
Dude, if you're an Indian and you see that clip for the first
Hey,
time,
Lisa.
Brilliant.
you just like your head explodes and you start an entire like fucking like coaching program in India
Every time I
based
say,
on
"Hey,
this
Lisa,"
clip.
then eventually she'll come up to me.
Dude, definitely, this has 250,000 likes. There definitely was at least one Indian guy who, like, that week at his office, he was like, "Hello, Lisa," and she was like, "That's not my name," and just walked away.
I like this.
Hello,
The
Lisa.
trick did not work in the movie, by the way. Thanks for 12,000 likes, y'all. Heart. Yeah, dude, this is it. I love it.
Wow.
Yeah, this is the wow. It is kind of
We tested every
something
way to
going
cook
on
bacon,
here.
including some weird ones, to find which one is crispiest,
Bacon?
tastiest, and worth.
Looks like you guys are coming up, so we probably shouldn't fish, huh? Watch out for the rod. Can you get that rod, Andrew? Just pull that out.
I need your document, please.
Okay. So what do you need? 3 things, right? The biosphere, the bracelet, 2,
Yeah.
passport also,
Yeah. I need a fishing.
fishing license.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Can I see how many fish do you have?
2 yellowtail, 1 barracuda.
The reason you're hearing all this yelling is because we are currently in El Tintero in Malaga, Spain, and this restaurant is super famous because there's no menu. Everything is an auction. They will walk around with the plates, with different fishes, different types of meat, salads,
Nice.
sometimes drinks even. They yell what they have, and you just tell them yes or no if you want it on the table, and they'll stop by, and they'll drop it off on your table. And once you're done, they count up all the plates, and that's how they charge you. So everything comes out super fresh. It gets grilled directly on the charcoal that they have here, or fried in the fryers in the back.
Dude,
Pretty cool.
go there.
As you can see, it is chaos over here, but it's one of the top destinations in the southern part of Spain.
I wouldn't touch this suit with my hands. Hands have a lot of oils and a lot of dirt on them. So how do we identify it? Chain of ownership. How did it end up in your possession?
song is
Purchased
so
it from an
funny.
auction
Chain of
about
ownership.
4.5 years ago. Okay, and that makes sense because that's the last one I saw come to auction was about 4 years ago. Second clue we look for is a prop number. The material's absolutely right for 1978. This is stretch nylon. I'm gonna carefully lift this up. We have a sewn-on label that says C. Reeve and a prop number and a studio number. So that's an excellent sign, Rick.
So you think it's all legit?
I think it's legit.
So what do you think would be sold at auction for?
I think at auction, you're looking at a significant value in
Wait,
excess of
pause. Oh, I was gonna have us guess what the value would be.
$250,000. I wouldn't touch
I wasn't
this
gonna
suit with
go
my
anywhere
hands.
near that.
Hands have a lot of oils and a lot of dirt on them.
There are 4 animals in the world that choose to hunt people. That's it. We think there's hundreds. There aren't. There are tigers, there are leopards, there are crocodiles, and there are polar bears. At the top of that list is polar bears. Nothing can stand up to a polar bear. Polar bears have a sense of smell that I'm going to butcher this, but it's something like 10,000 times
Why do they
greater
do
than
the
best bloodhound dog. They have
filter on
strength
his face that
unparalleled.
makes
they can
them look
stand
like
14 feet tall. They have knives for hands. They can
super,
open a
like,
car
deep
like it's
fried.
a cannon.
I think it helps them get past like getting taken down or something. I don't really know. Like it makes it be like unique content. I'm really not sure.
That probably is it. That makes sense.
You put garlic and onion together?
Yeah.
Oh, see, where I come from, Napoli,
Yeah.
we don't do that.
Well, this is America, honey. A little trick is to always add a little bit of white wine when you do the onions so they don't burn.
Can we be honest here? I've been cooking Italian food. I wrote 16 cookery books and I still live in Italy.
And I'm 83 years old and I've been cooking meat long before you were born.
So shut up. Shut up, Gino da Campo. You put garlic and onion together?
It is really weird how they all of these videos do like this really sad background music. It's like they almost understand how sad your life is, and they're making that the background feeling.
True. I do like some of those songs. They keep coming up. Watch, this is a sick
Yeah.
vid. Right here, watch it. Puts the coffee down. My shit is very like divorced dad grunge.
Yeah.
It's like cops.
Dude who went to jail after J6 algorithm.
In the cop stuff.
Alright, be reloaded. Reloaded. Those shots coming from the outside. X-ray 316. Shot fires. Suspects down.
That was cool.
Why are you pretending to be British for the interview? Because obviously I watched the preview of the movie, and you were American,
Right.
and then
No, but I am British. I play.
how is that possible?
I just do it.
You like this? You into
No.
this?
Somebody needs to invent something that just goes like this the whole time I'm riding.
Yeah, I mean, this is, you're seeing this is very wholesome.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll have a beer.
Yeah, it's not great. This isn't great.
Yeah, it's not great. Well, that was good, I think.
You did it.
We did it.
Damn.
Thanks, listeners. Thanks for joining
Thank you,
in.
guys.
Do we have a lot of people watching
There's
this
a
one?
few. There's a few.
My IQ is dropping.
Thank you, guys. God bless you. God bless America.
Stay gonzo.
MamaTheMagazine.com.